What's up, guys? Look at my notes. A little tiny piece of paper. Right now, I'm going to talk about my decisions and my experiences on Deus Ex Human Revolution. If you haven't seen my review, I put that up about a week ago. I will most likely put like a video response to it down below in the comments. But you guys have been really curious as to what I decided to do, how I decided to play, and like what ending I chose and that type of stuff. So first of all, before I even start talking about my decisions and everything, this video does contain spoilers, big spoilers, for Deus Ex Human Revolution. So if you haven't played it and you want to play the game, don't watch this video because that's all I'm going to be talking about. The big decisions, the ending. Go watch my review if you want because that is spoiler free. And then after you play a game or anything like that, then come and watch this. First of all, I started playing the game one way and I ended up playing it different later on. And I think that's a very common thing for this game, just because, and it's not so much the difficulty, I mean that has something to do with it. I started off playing like pure stealth, just, you know, using tranquilizer guns or stun guns. I didn't want to kill anybody. I wouldn't use the lethal takedowns. I'd just like knock people out. So I was like, I'm gonna try to beat this game without killing anybody and just stealth all the way. But as I started, I didn't play very long this way, but I did play a good amount of time to know that it's hard, but it's hard to do that. It's hard to, you know, go stealth all the way and not kill anybody. But the biggest issue for me was that I was just using tranquilizer guns and stun guns, and I'd find these awesome guns. I mean, I had one of the downloadable contents where it had a sniper rifle with the silencer on it. And you guys that know me, you know that I'm a total sniper nut. So for me not to be able to use a sniper rifle, I was just like, it just really pissed me off. Like, I really wanted to use a sniper rifle, but all I was using were weapons that were non-lethal. So I'd pick up shotguns, I'd pick up all these crazy weapons, and I couldn't use them. So I started to feel like I really wasn't having as much fun as I should have, or as I wanted to with this game. So in order for me to keep playing it and to have fun, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to change. I'm not going to do stealth all the way, or at least the way that I was doing it. Especially with, you know, not killing anybody. I was like, screw it. From now on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I always do, or what I always like to do with RPGs where you can choose to do this. Long distance damage dealing, or long distance stealth type of gameplay. The minute I changed, I started having so much fun. Because I could now use the different weapons that I would get, all the weapons that I would get. And it was still challenging, but it wasn't as challenging as just pure stealth. Because one thing that kind of sucks about putting people on, or not killing people and just having them go unconscious, is, you know, the other people, the other bad guys that walk around and they see an unconscious body, they will wake them up. So it's like, oh my god, if you're not careful, if you don't hide the body or anything like that, they will find them and then they'll bring them back, and it's just like, you know, everything you had done before just went to waste. I love that the game does that, where the AI is as smart as, you know, oh, if they see a leg sticking out, they'll be like, oh, what the hell, there's a body over here. So you really have to think about not only taking down guys, but also hiding the body, almost like if it was a realistic type of situation. Not that I would know. I didn't go guns blazing. Like I said, I was doing long range with snipers, and I was still, when I was in close-up, if I didn't have to kill anybody, if I could just get around people through stealth, then I would do that. But whenever I'd be caught, or if someone was on my tail or something, then I'd just bust them out. And I would use a lot. I would take advantage of vents. If you haven't played this game, vents are your friends. It's so. I mean, I don't know if this is kind of cheating, but I mean, it was a strategy. It was a tactic that you could use. Let's say you would go an event and then come out into a room. Some guard would see you through the window or something like that, and they're like, "Hey!" And then you're like, "Oh my god!" And then you go back inside the vent, and then the guy comes in looking for you, and you're in the vent, and you just see their legs like stand in front of the vent, and you're just like, "Pow pow!" with a shotgun, and you just kill them. And all the other guys come, and because they heard the noise, they come see the dead body, and they just stand in the vent, and you're just like, "Pop pop!" And nobody can get you because you're in the vent. You're like protected in there. And seriously, sometimes just a bunch of people, like sometimes I'd lure them over to the vent, and all these guards would come, and I'd just kill them all without even getting hurt. Sometimes they would throw like bombs and stuff like that inside the vent, and I'd be like, "Oh crap!" But if you get a certain augmentation where gas doesn't do anything to you anymore, or those EMP bombs don't mess up with don't mess your augmentations or anything like that. If you get that augmentation is so useful. Trust me. At first I was like, I don't think I'm gonna need that, but it was so useful for me. Not only for the vent, but for in other situations. So yeah, I'd take advantage of vents, and sometimes I'd get out of the vent, and there was like, I swear, I kid you not, sometimes like 15 dead bodies like right outside the vent, all piled up on each other. It was pretty funny. I didn't do that all the time though, so I didn't really exploit that to the max. But when I found when I couldn't really do much else, or when I saw myself in the situation, I'd embrace it. The augmentations that I pretty much got all the augmentations full, except for the leg augmentations and the hacking augmentations. Hacking, I got a lot of it, almost all of it, but not fully. Because some of the augmentations, I was just like, I don't need that, you know, like whatever. Like some of the hacking ones, like was check what certain nodes would give you to see if they were worth going for. And I was just like, that's pointless, you know, if I could get the node, whatever. If I can't, who cares? I was pretty good at hacking by the end of the game. I could hack level 5 terminals, so I did have that augment. But I didn't have the whole stupid little perks for the hacking. I did find a lot of stop worms and nukes and stuff like that, so that usually helps me get a lot of the nodes anyways. And the leg prosthesis, or the leg augmentations, I think the last augmentation for the legs was the jumping really high and run faster. Some of the most useful augmentations for me were, and I actually underestimated both of these. I had underestimated the Typhoon. I had gotten the Typhoon early on, and at first I was like, this is pointless. I didn't like it. I was just like, this is stupid, I don't need it. But as soon as I upgraded, I hadn't upgraded the Typhoon to the second power, like where it would take down robots as well. I didn't upgrade it to that until later, and that's why I didn't really like Typhoon, because it wasn't as powerful as I wanted it to be. So once I got the upgrade for it, and I could take down and I could take down like robots, it was so useful, because sometimes you would have robots on your tail, or you couldn't get rid of a robot, and instead of wasting all your ammo on them, you just run out when it was safe, when they were turning around, just run out, like stand right in front of them, and then bust the Typhoon, and they just blow up, like one shot, they just blow up. And that was so useful, especially when you were up against these huge robots. I mean, it doesn't matter the size of the robot, it would take it out. Another one that was really, that I just mentioned earlier, that was really useful were the protection towards different types of explosions or grenades, like the gas grenade. It would like enhance your lungs, and it almost sounded like you had a gas mask on when there was gas in the room. And that was awesome. That turned out to be very useful later on. And also the EMP one, where you could like pretty much walk into like electrical currents. That was really useful also later on, and you could actually get to places where you wouldn't be able to if you didn't have that augment. When I was playing the game, I mentioned this in my review, I was getting really attached to the character, Jensen, and not just attached, but I was almost, I was really feeling the way that he was supposedly feeling. It was very easy for me to almost become Jensen, like to adopt his feelings, because, and it was almost automatic. It was a very interesting experience because whenever something would happen, I would emotionally feel it. Like I would really feel it. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, that must suck for Jensen. No, I was feeling it. And that was super cool. And I started to doubt people. The people that I doubted early on, the first person that I was doubting was Pritchard. For some reason, I did not trust Pritchard. To the end, I didn't trust him. To the end, I thought he was gonna stab me in the back somehow. But he ended up he didn't. And I didn't trust David Seraph. He was just, I think that was a more common person not to trust, just because it was so much weird stuff going on, and he wouldn't tell you everything, and it was just like, what the hell? Another thing that I really felt that was just very, very personal was Malik's death. I grew to really like Malik. She was a very cool character, and even before I played Deus Ex, when I was reading the comics, I really liked Malik. I was just like, oh, she's so cool. And then I started to play the game, and I liked her even more. And then when she died, I was just, I seriously was like screaming. I was like, no! That whole moment where she gets killed, or where her helicopter or her plane gets dropped down, and you have to you try to kill everybody that's attacking you, and you're just like, oh my god, wait, Malik's gonna die. Like, they're gonna get to Malik. And you're just, it's like this adrenaline rush and this feeling of urgency, where you're just like, I have to get them, or they're gonna kill Malik. Like, she was a sitting duck. And I tried it so many times, and I was just like, I guess there's no way to save Malik. But she ends up dying, and when she says, the last thing she says to you is, give him hell, or something like that. And I took that seriously. Like, I was like, oh girl, you don't even know. It just got real. It was like, pow! And I went nuts. At first I died a few times, but then I was pissed when Malik died. I was just like, oh, hell no. Like, it's about to go down right now. Like, it's about to go down. Like, it's for reals now. And I just bust out, like, my revolver. I love that gun. My revolver with explosive rounds. Oh, shut it. Like, shut it. Don't even. And I was just, like, cloaking myself, going in front of people and busting a cap in their head, like, point blank. And I was destroying everybody like that. Freaking robot that was there, I just bust them with the typhoon, and everybody it was personal, man. It was personal. And one of the guys was on top, the last guy, he was on top of the building, and I go up there without him noticing me, and he's looking down like that, and his back is facing me, and I creep up to him, and I bust him up. Like, I did a lethal takedown. And it was a perfect lethal takedown too. He just goes, bah, bah, whoosh, and like cuts his throat, and then the guy just falls off the building, and I was like, yeah, brother, yeah. I felt like I was really there. Like, I was like, oh, hell's no. And once everybody was dead, I went down to the plane, and I was just like, oh, Malik. I wanted to go in there. Like, I wanted to go into the plane and, like, you know, take Malik and just cry for a little while. But no. So I left, and I was mad, dude. I was really mad the whole time. I was like, oh, I can't believe they did that. Oh, they're gonna pay. Like, oh, I was ready for bloodshed. Like, I was seeing red. Pritchard, I remember Pritchard contacts you after that, and you're in an elevator, and Pritchard says, you know, stay out of sight. It's better this way because they're all looking for you, and they could kill you. You know, they're out to kill you. And I was like, dude, you want me to? I'm gonna kill everybody I see. And yeah, every guy that was like, hey, shoot them in the face. And then later you go into this facility or this factory or something like that, and you find Malik's body there. Like, they had taken out some of her augmentations. Like, you could see a hole in her head. They took out her chip that she had, and I was like you just see her on the table. And I was just like, oh no. That was just messed up. But it was really cool that they incorporated that in the game, because it really, really pulled at you. It really pulled at your strings. I went crazy after that.